Hello, welcome to the Stocks and Shares Investment Masterclass. My name is Lucky Johnson. All right, before we commence, I want to quickly state this clearly. This is not the professional masterclass, as you know. I want you to see this as a discussion between me and you. There is something I know about investing in the stocks and shares of Nigerian companies and other companies across the globe that I want to show you in this masterclass. But before we go on, I want you to listen to the man, Mr. Gabriel Ogbeche. Is actually the founder of Rain Oil Limited. I know you know Rain Oil Limited. And do you know he actually started Rain Oil Limited with the profit he gathered from investing in stocks and shares as far as 94, 96. So I want you to listen to him before we delve further into this masterclass. All right? So let's hear what he has to say.
My name is Gabriel Ogbeche. At the University of Benin in 1987. I took a degree in engineering. I served in Kano 1987-88. I worked briefly in Kano. Then I came down to Lagos and joined a firm of then Pricewaterhouse, now called PricewaterhouseCoopers. I worked with Pricewaterhouse, then left Pricewaterhouse in 1992 and joined a company called Ascon Oil Company Limited. I was in Ascon Oil from 92 to 97. I remember then, 92, 93, 94, I was on a salary of 30,000 naira a month. I asked myself one very simple question. Gabriel, what else can you do to make 30,000 naira in a month? I asked myself that question because I believed then, as I still believe today, that anything you can do to make your salary can take the place of your job. You know, when you have a job, you're working for a company, they pay you 6 million naira per annum, that's 500,000 naira every month. Essentially what that company is doing is saying is come to work at 8 o'clock, do this set of tasks from 8 to 5, and then at the end of the month, we'll give you 500,000 naira. Any other thing you can do to make that same 500,000 naira can take the place of your job. So I asked myself that question and I said, Gabriel, if I sell a truck of diesel, I will make 30,000 naira. A truck of diesel in 94, 95, we're buying diesel for 9 naira per liter, we're selling it for 10 naira per liter. A truck of diesel, 30,000 liters. So if I buy one truck of diesel, even if I go home and sleep for 30 days, after 30 days, come back and collect my check, I will make 30,000 naira. A truck of diesel was 300,000 naira. But first things first, I needed to incorporate a company. So in 1994, I remember then, my wife and I went to meet a friend of mine who is a lawyer and a pastor, NFA Korubo. NFA, I want to start a company. So what kind of company? An oil and gas company. So what name do we give to this company? So we started banding names around. Why don't you call it Gab Oil? Why don't you call it this oil? Why don't you call it that oil? And then if I said, no, Gabriel, rain stands for blessing. Why don't we call it rain oil? I said, Nefa, you know what, you're right. But instead of calling it rain oil, we're going to merge the rain and the oil together to get one word, rain oil. And that was how Rain Oil Limited was incorporated in November 1994. Certificate of Incorporation 257444, I don't forget. Recall I had a hypothesis that if I sell a truck of diesel, I will make how much? 30,000 naira. I needed 300,000 naira to sell the truck of diesel. I didn't have the money. I wrote proposals. I went to those who I knew had the money. All I was getting was meet me here, meet me there for a meeting, stories. So I learned my first lesson. People rarely give money to those who don't have. Do I have a witness in the house? I couldn't raise 300,000 naira. But I had a habit. I had a stockbroker who was on Bank Anthony Way in Ikeja. With as little as 2,000 naira, I would drive from Isolo to Bank Anthony Way and say, Nyemike, buy me 500 units of Nigerian breweries. 1,500 naira, I would drive to Bank Anthony Way, Yemike, buy me 800 units of First Bank. I was investing in stock, little by little. By 1996, I was getting frustrated. I couldn't raise the 300,000 naira. So one evening, I was living in Egbada then. One evening, I brought out my capital market file. And I started itemizing all the stock one by one. 1,000 units of 7-Up at 70 kobo per share, 700 naira. 2,000 units of First Bank at 6 naira per share, 12,000 naira. I don't forget that 7-Up because 7-Up was number 1 on the list. And it was trading for 70 kobo, and the number of shares of 7-Up I had was 1,000 units. So the entire value of those shares was 700 naira. But I itemized all the stock, and I was surprised. They went into 2 pages. When I summed them up, it came to 497,000 naira. Praise the Lord. You know, for those of us who are Christians, the Bible admonishes us that we should cast our bread upon the waters that we may find it after many days. It came to 497,000 naira. I was surprised. Those were the days of share certificates, not these days of CSCS. I took the share certificates. I took them to the same stockbroker, Nyemike. He verified the ones he could verify. He sold the ones he could sell. By the end of the day, I had my 300,000 naira. Having raised the 300,000 naira, I now needed to go into the marketplace to test my hypothesis. I'm a salesman. I was the salesman. I'm still a salesman. I had no challenges identifying a company in Ikeja called Oil Nigeria Plc. A classmate of mine in university was working there as an engineer, Mike Okolo, so he introduced me to the purchasing manager, a gentleman called Mr. Ojo. So I had no challenges convincing him to give me an LPO to supply them 30,000 liters of diesel at 10 naira per liter, 300,000 naira. So he told me to come on this fateful Tuesday to come and pick my LPO. So this day, I went there very excited. How far, Mr. Ojo? What of the LPO? He said, Gabriel, sorry, the LPO is not ready. I said, why? He said, the GM refused to sign. I said, which GM? I got up. He thought I was leaving. There was a GM, a gentleman called Aija Haneku. His office was down the corridor to the left. He had a secretary to the right of his door. So I just approached the GM's office. I knew that if I made the mistake of telling the secretary I wanted to see the GM, that would have been the end of it. So I just approached the door. Good afternoon, ma'am. As she raised her eyes to look at me, I had opened the GM's door, and I was in the GM's office. Yes, young man, what can I do for you? My LPO is on your table. Please, can you help me sign it? I said, he said, which company? I said, Rain Oil. He said, which one is Rain Oil? We only buy from Unipetrol or Mobil or Total. Aija Haneku was seated, I was standing. I did all the marketing I could do that day. Aija Haneku was ready to sign this LPO. Gabriel Ubeche wasn't ready to go anywhere. At some point, he got tired of me. He wanted to leave me in his office. So as he approached the door, I just used my body to block the door and say, help a young man who wants to grow. Sign this LPO. Aija Haneku looked at me long and hard, went back to his table, signed the LPO and said, I don't want to ever see you in my office again. I said, thank you very much, sir. I took this LPO, I did this supply. Instead of making 30,000 naira, I made 45,000 naira. From that singular supply in November 1996, we have grown this organization to what it is today.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed that session from Mr. Gabriel Ogbeche. I mean, how many persons in Nigeria actually have dreams that they cannot achieve because they do not have the money to fund the dream? Maybe probably you also have a project you are about to embark on or you are currently embarking on. But the challenge right now is the fund to be able to move the project from point A to point B. So I want to show you how you can raise a lot of money to be able to carry out any kind of project that you have in mind or you have at hand. All right. So in the next few minutes in this webinar, this is my objective. All right, number one, it is to help you understand how the stocks and shares investment industry works. Okay, so whether you have heard something about the stocks and shares investment industry or not is not an issue. So I'm going to break it down to a point whereby you can understand, no matter the current level where you're operating from. Okay, but then the second part of this training is that I'm going to also help you start your stocks and shares investment journey to wealth creation. All right, because there's no point learning anything if you are not going to implement it. All right, so I want to first of all show you, teach you about the industry, and then help you start implementing so that you can start buying the shares of different companies like GT Bank, MTN, Dangote Cement, and the likes, and then start making money from your share investment. But then I want to quickly make a disclaimer before we go further. All right, I will need you to take a very important action at the end of this training to start investing in highly profitable shares with 50% profit and above. But truth be told, that part of this training is not free. So this training is divided into two. There is the free part where I'm going to show you everything you need to know about investing in the stocks and shares of Nigerian companies and making money from it, actually, in fact, how to get started and all of that for free. But then, will you promise me that if I'm able to deliver very well to you in the free aspect, you will take the action that I want you to take when it comes to the part whereby there may be some sort of commitment from you? So if you promise me that, I want you to type in the comment section below, type deal in the comment section below. All right, if you have done that, let's go forward. So very quickly, who am I and why should you listen to me? My name is Lucky Johnson. I am a husband, a father, an entrepreneur, and a wealth creation coach. I teach people how to make, manage, and multiply money. Of course, I'm a graduate of accounting, but besides that, I have been strongly mentored by some of the brightest minds in the industry of financial management and wealth creation. Yes, I started my journey as far as 2019 investing in the Nigerian stock exchange market. And why did I actually start? As of 2018, I graduated, and of course, by the grace of God, I got a job immediately after graduation. So when my friends were going for youth service, I already had a job. I started working, and my salary then was 50,000 naira. All right, I mean, any 50,000 naira then for some persons was quite big. For others, it may be small, right? But truth be told, it wasn't able to cater for my personal needs, because I mean, the average Nigerian has family members who are depending on them. Mom we call, dad we call, maybe siblings sometimes we call, and sometimes these are financial needs and you just have to respond to them. So literally, before the end of the month, I was broke, like flat broke. My money was finished. So sometimes I will even have to borrow money to transport myself to work and back from work for the next few weeks before month end, when I will be paid salary again. But when I studied the way my life was going, I knew that if I continue on that path, I may likely end up a failure or a mediocre, financially speaking now. So I was able to know about the stocks and shares investment industry on time, and then how I could leverage it and start buying shares little by little with as low as 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira, and that was how the journey started. The first set of shares I actually bought was MTN shares, and it really did good. It did good actually, and then I continued to invest and all of that. So through investing in stocks and shares, I've been able to raise significant amount of money to engage in capital intensive projects for myself and for my family. So in a nutshell, that is what I want to help you do in this training. I want to help you raise any amount of money you have in mind for any kind of project that you are about to embark on, or you are already embarking on, through investment in stocks and shares. All right, so these are some of my training sections. I go across Nigeria actually teaching people about wealth creation. I organize workshop sessions like the pictures at the top right extreme was a seminar, a workshop actually, that was hosted by Senator George Sekebo in Port Harcourt at Dominion City. I was a major facilitator there. As you can see, Those are the participants. And then at the bottom left extreme was a recharge card printing workshop, recharge card printing and distribution business workshop we had in Benin City, and then another one in Ondo. And by the way, before we go further, it is one of the things I'm going to give you for free at the end of this webinar. I'm going to give you the blueprint for starting a recharge card printing and distribution business for free. You don't have to pay anything on that. So I just thought of, including that right away. Okay, so let's get to what we have to do even today. So these are a display of my dashboard. Some of the shares I've bought over a period of time: Multiverse, Nigerian Breweries, UBA, Wema Bank, and all of that. And of course, some transactions I've made over a period of time. Actually, this was my screenshot, the screenshot of my account over a couple of months ago, actually. Okay, so let's get to business now. What are shares? I don't want to assume that you know a lot about this. Okay, so I want to break it down to the barest minimum that you can follow. So what are shares? Very quickly, I'll take a definition from Investopedia, then I'm going to break it down. All right, because some of these things are just grammar. So shares are units of equity ownership in a corporation. The average person may not be able to understand that. So in its simplest term, shares refer to a portion of ownership that you have in a company. So in other words, if you buy the shares of a company like GT Bank, automatically you have become one of the owners of GT Bank. It doesn't matter whether you sit in their board meetings or not. By the way, just a few days ago, I was sent a message by that should actually be my stockbroker. So I was sent a message a few days ago to actually attend a meeting held by Wema Bank. A meeting held by Wema Bank. I mean, I am not one of the workers in Wema Bank, but I'm one of the owners of Wema Bank. Why? Because I have shares with Wema Bank. Okay, so anytime that company makes profit, when you buy the shares of a company, anytime the company makes profit, you have a share in that profit, no matter how big or how small. So this is what we call dividend. Is the portion of the profit of the company that is paid to you after they have made their transactions over a period of time. So you must note this. You can buy shares of different companies from as low as 50 kobo per unit, okay, to as high as 1,000 naira per unit. So you don't have an excuse, okay? And these are some companies that you can find in the Nigerian Stock Exchange market. Okay, so let me take a few examples so that you can get it clearly. Now, the price of GT Bank shares was actually 46 naira per unit as at the time I was preparing the slide for this training. So you can decide to buy 100 units of GT Bank shares, and that will cost you 100 units times 46 naira, 4,600 naira. You are already a shareholder with GT Bank. You see that now? As simple as that. Okay, let's assume that maybe someone does not have up to 4,600. The price of Tantalizer shares was actually 38 kobo per unit as at the time I was preparing this training slide. So if you decide to buy the same 100 units of Tantalizer shares, it will only cost you 38 naira. As simple as that. So with 38 naira, you can become a shareholder. As simple as that. So that means if you want to buy 10,000 units of Tantalizer shares, it will only cost you 3,800 naira. Okay, but then the bottom line is that you can buy shares if you have as low as 1,000 naira or even less. So how does the stock market work? I know you may be asking, how do I make profit from investing in stocks and shares? Now, there are two major ways to make profits or make money when you invest in stocks and shares. Number one is through capital gain, and then number two is through dividend. Okay, now I want to break it down for you so that you can understand what it means to make money through capital gain and through dividend. Now, first of all, capital gain is simply when the price of the shares of a company goes up. So when the price of a company's shares increases, you have already made some money, and that can happen within a few hours of your first investment. As simple as that. So let's take this example. If you buy, say, 10,000 units of GT Bank shares at 46 naira per unit, it will cost you 460,000 naira. Okay, of course, that is 10,000 units times 46. And like I said before, you don't have to buy up to this amount. This is just an example. All right. So if the price of this particular share goes up from 46 naira to 50 naira per unit by tomorrow, you will automatically have 500,000 naira. You see that now? It's as simple as that, and this can happen. Okay. So in other words, you have just made a profit of 40,000 naira in 24 hours. That is how a lot of people make money investing in stocks and shares. It is as simple as that. The price of a company shares can move in just one day. In just one day, maybe from 10 naira to 15 naira to 20 naira, as the case may be. So it is possible for the price of a company share to go up by 10% to 50% in 24 hours. I am a witness. There's a pharmaceutical company known as Julie PLC. The company share moved by 46% in 24 hours. That was what actually motivated me to invest in that particular company. And do you know that I bought the shares of that company first of all 50,000 naira, and by the next day I had made 10,000 naira. By the next day, I'm not kidding you, that's how much? 20% of my 50,000 naira investment by the next day. So imagine investing 100,000, 500,000, a million naira, and so on. Okay, so that means if you have 10,000 units of GT Bank shares at 46 naira per unit, which is 46,000 naira, and the price goes up by 50%, take note, 50%. Now you will make an additional gain of 23 naira per share. How do I mean? 50% is 50 divided by 100 times the initial price, which is 46. So 50%, which is half of 46, is 23 naira. It means you have just made extra 23 naira on your investment per share. So the new price of that share will be the old price, 46 naira, and the increment you gained on it, which is 23 naira. So that will become what? A total of 69 naira. So you have just made a total of 690,000 naira. So your money will move from 460,000 to 690,000 naira just because of an increment of 50%. What does that mean? You have just made a profit of 230,000 naira in 24 hours. Now, mark you are investing in legit companies. This is not Ponzi scheme. This is not MMM whatsoever. This is an investment that is backed up by the federal government of Nigeria through the Nigeria Stock Exchange. Okay, I believe probably you have heard something about investing in shares, and all of that. So GT Banks, MTN, these are reputable organizations. So it is not something that whether you are trying to be, no. This is a legitimate investment. And of course, you are going to be doing it by yourself with what I'm going to be showing you even in this webinar. So the second way to make money investing in stocks and shares is through dividends. So dividend is simply a portion of the company's profit that is paid to you as a shareholder. So for instance, if you have again 10,000 units of GT Bank shares, maybe the reason why I'm using GT Bank is because I have shares with them and I bank with GT Bank. Well, maybe this is a free advert for GT Bank. Well, that's by the wayside. So let's assume that you have 10,000 units of GT Bank shares and it is time for GT Bank to pay dividends to its shareholders. Now, if GT Bank decides to pay, say, 2 naira per unit as dividend, so every unit of shares that you own, they pay you 2 naira. Now, if you add 10,000 units of shares with them, 10,000 units times 2 naira, that is a total of what? 20,000. This is aside from your main investment with them. They will give you an additional 20,000 as dividend, and dividend is usually paid sometimes yearly, quarterly, depending on the company you are investing with. So there are a lot of ways to actually make money investing in stocks and shares, but for me, the number one way is through capital gain. Whether the company is paying dividend or not does not concern me, but let me just know that in the next 6 months my money has increased by 50%. And there are strategies to be able to identify companies that can get you to earn a profit of 50% and even beyond. And it's part of the things that I'm going to show you. All right, so how do you invest in the stock and shares investment market? You may be asking. There are very straightforward ways to do that. Number one, create a stocks and shares investment account with a stock brokerage firm. All right, so I hope I'm not too fast. Are you getting it? If you are getting it, I want you to comment below. Comment yes, or you can comment following. If you are getting it and you are following, comment yes or comment following in the comment section below. So how do you invest in the shares of a company? Number one, you cannot just go to approach a company like Dangote Cement or MTN, GT Bank, Zenith Bank. I want to buy shares. No, you don't do that. All right. Now you have to go through a stockbroker, and the stockbroker goes through the Nigerian Stock Exchange to buy the shares of any kind of company for you. So the first thing you need to do, like you opened a normal bank account, is to create a stocks and shares investment account with a stock brokerage firm. So to create an account, you will fill a form, and of course this is digital. If you used to know about shares when they used to go to brokers office to fill, no, you don't need to go anywhere. Right there from the comfort of your room with your smartphone, you can register and create your account. All right, so you fill the form in the app or the website of the company. Then you provide documents like your ID card, maybe your national ID card, driver's license, and the likes. Your NIN, national identity number, your BVN, bank verification number, your utility bill, NEPA bill, and sometimes you may need to provide your passport. Sometimes they may not even require that. All right, because your BVN is going to give them every other thing they need from you. Number two, complete all the necessary documentations with your broker. You see all these documents I just listed. You have to upload them. Once you upload them, then you are all set up. All right. Then next, deposit money from your bank account into your stocks and shares investment account. It is as simple as ABC. As is just to make transfer into the account. As simple as that. Okay, and like I said before, you can deposit as low as 1,000 naira to as much as 1 million naira and above. But then you must note that your stock brokerage firm will charge you a small fee for deposit. Usually that money goes to Paystack, because that is the system you are going to route through to deposit money in your account. And then next, by the time you already have money, what do? Start searching for companies with profitable shares to buy. When you have money there, you don't just start buying. No, you have to be very strategic. Otherwise, you can buy the shares of a company that is not going anywhere, and your money will be there. And you may even buy the shares of a company that is going down, losing, and you can lose up to 50% or even the entire money you invested. Yes, but this is not to put fear in your mind. That is why you need proper guidance, and that is what I'm going to be doing for you. I've been doing this for a couple of years, almost half a decade now, and so I'm going to be giving you the strategies that I use to identify shares with profitable, returns within a period of time, at least with 50% returns. Okay, I guarantee that. Next, once you already identify those companies, what do? Don't wait. Buy the quantity of shares you can afford. Okay, again, even if it's 1,000, you have buy the one of 1,000. Let it start growing. Tomorrow, maybe you are an employee or a businessman, you make profit, you receive salary, take a portion, buy again, take a portion. If you continue to buy shares for the next 3 months or 6 months, you will be amazed at what you can actually achieve. So again, when you are buying shares, your stock brokerage firm will also charge you a small percentage, maybe something like 0.75%, which is quite insignificant. All right, and your shares can start growing instantly. Next, what do? Once you buy shares, you have to be patient. This is a legitimate investment. This is not MMM. You put money today and then next tomorrow they double it for you. And no. If that is what you think this is, it is actually not what it is. All right. So once you have placed your investment, what do? Wait and make some profit. And how does this profit come? I explained it before. Do you remember 2 ways you make money? Number 1 is what? Capital gain. Number 2, dividend. Exactly. So that's what you do. And take note, you can make as much as 10 to 50% profit in one day, in 1 week or 1 month. All right. But I do not want to make your expectations so high that you are looking for 50% in one day. It is possible. But while you invest, begin to look at it, and 10% in one day is nice. 10% in 1 week is nice. I mean, how much does bank fixed deposit investment pay in a whole year? You see, it is the reason why I advise people invest in the Nigerian stocks and shares market instead of putting your money in fixed deposit. If you have money anywhere now that is not making you up to 20% in 1 year, go and pull out that money and put it in shares. It is true. There is so much guarantee that this can bring a lot of returns. Okay? But then, like I said, if you are not properly guided, unfortunately, you can make loss to the point of losing all your money. So you need proper mentorship and guidance. So let's go on, and that is why I'm here. So the next thing, once you have waited and you have made profit, depending on the amount of profit you want. I mean, I'm not a greedy person. If I have 10%, I mean, that's something. 10% of 1 million naira is 100,000 naira. You can sell your shares and withdraw your money to your bank account. That's the next thing. You can sell part of the shares, maybe the part of the profit, withdraw the 100,000, let the capital still be there and be raising money for you. And I even give people strategies that if you are a very conservative person, you are not, you don't like taking risk and all of that. When you invest, you can wait for a moment, let that investment return your capital. Let's say you invested 100,000. By the time you make a gain of 100,000, remove that your initial 100,000. Let whatsoever is left be there and be making money for you. But you don't have to be afraid, I must tell you, because if you fight or you play the game not to lose, you may likely lose. Play the game to win. Fight to win. Don't fight not to lose. Can you see that there are two different things? That fear of losing is still there in the mind. So you must do this investment to win. All right. So once you have made a lot of profit, depending on how much you desire, 50%, 100%, like Transcorp Hilton Hotels shares, I believe you saw it in my advert, made a total profit of 1,500% gain for its shareholders in 2023 alone. I mean, that's a lot of money. It simply means if you invested 100,000 in Transcorp Hilton Hotels shares, you would have made 1.5 million naira in 2023 alone with 100,000 naira. I mean, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. All right, so let's move on. So, you see, this is the procedure or the process through which you invest in Nigeria Stock Exchange. So, have you been getting value from this training so far? If you have been getting value, I want you to type, I need your feedback. Remember, this is a discussion. I need your feedback. Type value in the comment section below. Type value in the comment section below. All right, since you have done that, let's go forward. Now, this is the second part of this training I told you about initially. Remember, I said there's the free part, and of course, there's another part that may not be free. Now, will you agree with me that by the grace of God, I have tried with respect to the things I have shown you before now? I mean, thank you so much. At least you think I have done justice to that. But then, I want to actually show you this course that I tagged the Stocks and Shares Investment Masterclass course. Now, why do I have to come up with this? I know how difficult it can be when you try to do something for the first time by yourself, clueless. And I also know the time it will take for you to learn all these things. You cannot learn it only in this training now. I mean, how many hours do you have to spend here? We will now create your account. We will now fund your account, verify your account, begin to identify how many hours do we have. It is the reason why I package this course just to be able to guide you. Now, have you ever tried to learn how to drive? Probably you own a car, you can drive. Or maybe you have tried attempting to drive one time. Like one time, I had to cross my mind and start learning how to drive because, of course, you need to get a car someday and all of that. Can you imagine how scary it is to hold the steering of a car and start driving, especially when you get to the road with the trailer and every other? Now look at the face of this young lady right here. She's almost crying. But look at the other guy. What is the guy doing? He's guiding her with the steering so that she does not hit a fence or hit another vehicle on the road. And if you are driving, maybe you are a learner and you just decide to take a vehicle and start driving without proper guide, especially a manual shift vehicle, it may likely lead to disaster. That is why you need a driving coach. You need a driving coach. And of course, that is what you also need in this your journey to investing in the stocks and shares of different companies in Nigeria and across the globe. Actually, you need a coach. You actually need a coach. So this course is a perfect guide for stock market investment. As you can see it right here, become a master investor in Nigerian stocks and shares and increase your cash flow for wealth creation. So in this course, you are going to learn my time-tested, proven strategies for identifying and buying highly profitable shares with 50% profit and above. All right, and these are some of the highlights right there. I'm going to show you in detail. So because you may be asking, why should I get the stocks and shares investment masterclass course? So why should I get it? I want to quickly show you right now. So this is the breakdown of what you are going to be learning in this course. All right, so let's take it down. So this is the course content right here. As you can see, they are all videos and they are a total of 10 modules with 14 videos. 10 modules with 14 videos. That is a lot to make you an expert investor if you really pay attention to learn the things that I shared in this course. And it's a total of just 3 hours, 43 minutes, 56 seconds. You are done. You can learn everything in one day. If you decide to break it down maybe in a week, you can learn everything and start investing. So we have the introduction in module 1. Module 2, I shared something about the how cube of wealth creation. I tagged it the how cube. There are 3 hows that you must know if you must create wealth. Number 1, how to make money. Number 2, how to manage money or keep money. Okay. Number 3, how to multiply money, which is what? How to invest money. I did a very, intensive training on that particular subject matter. And then developing investment mindset. I shared a lot about that, because if you start your journey like every other person and you don't really have the foundational mindset that you need to possess, you may not be able to last through the journey. So I've taught a lot of my students what it means to develop investment mindset. And then how to create your stocks and shares investment plan. One of the reasons why people are unable to make money with whatsoever investment they are doing is because they don't have a plan. They don't have a plan. So I showed actually in this particular training how you can create your investment plan that can help you raise $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, $10 million, $50 million, depending on the current level financially where you are at. And then in module 5, this is where we delve into the practical, how to create your stocks and shares investment account. And I introduced about 2 stock brokers here, reliable brokers you can start creating your account and investing with. And then number 6, which is module 6, how to deposit money from your bank account. Yes, we have that. Module 7, how to place order and buy the shares of different companies in Nigeria and across the globe. And then module 7, of course, that's module 7. Module 8, this is the core of this masterclass. 99% guaranteed strategies for identifying and buying highly profitable shares with 50% profit and above. You see that it is a strategy. There are apps, there are websites, there are certain kind of platforms that I use to monitor the growth of stocks and shares. I've shared a bit of them with you. If you are in my WhatsApp group, yes, I've been showing you daily stock market analysis, and you agree with me that there's a lot that you have learned if you have been following that daily stock market analysis, except you are not in my WhatsApp group, okay? But then you can always connect with me to join that WhatsApp group if you are not there. All right, so module 9, module 9, how to sell your shares and withdraw your funds to your bank account. As simple as ABC, in the moment your money drops in your account. And then lastly, I challenged my students on how to raise at least $1 million with your first investment. I called it the $1 million investment challenge. From whatsoever level, how to raise your first $1 million. And you can use that strategy to boost and raise your next $5 million, depending on the current level you are at, 10 million, 50, and so on and so forth. And then there is a bonus in this course, amazing bonus. Number 1 bonus, there are books that I provided that you can also read to guide you, in addition to the lessons I shared in the training. So I provided some books on investment and financial management that you can actually study to guide you. And then there is the free ticket. You have the opportunity to get a free ticket to join my stocks and shares investors community on WhatsApp. That is where the training continues. All right, once you have finished the course, you join. There's a link in the course. You join the group community of seasoned investors. And then when you are going to buy shares and you are not sure, you just come share your experience or what you want to do in the group. We'll analyze it together and then we'll help you to get it. You see that there is so much that you are going to actually enjoy from this course. These are some customer reviews from people who have actually taken this course. All right, now I want to show you a few things that some of my students are saying about this course. All right, now this is Sam the Beloved. He said, hello Lucky Johnson, I'm impressed with the value you dished out on your YouTube channel. I myself am an active shareholder with MTN shares. However, I want to diversify into other shares. He said, owing to the fact that you are a patient and simple teacher, thank you. I would like to buy into your masterclass. This is somebody who is already investing, yet he says he wants to take the course. Not to talk about somebody who has not even started investing at all. And then this is if he actually was a departmental president then in my alma mater. It says, good evening sir, how are you doing and how is home? I have gone through the YouTube video and I have this to say. I have to say you did a great job. Thank you. Investment in shares and stocks is something I had in mind right from school days. Maybe you are also like Ife, you have always had it in mind. This is your lucky day, actually. He said, when I finished, I was prepared to go into it, but didn't quite know where or how to start. That is the challenge of many people. They know what to do, but they don't know how to. So this is why you actually need this course. So he says you actually helped to break it down, but I believe that's not enough to become confident to start. The mentorship is quite essential. I said, so I will be making the pre-launch order. This was before I launched the course. As you can see, the First Bank logo here, this was his alert. He paid for the course immediately, because he didn't want to just go into it blindly and then lose his money. He had to subscribe to my guidance. And of course, how much is this course? You may be asking, how much is it? Considering the value you will get and how it will help you make a lot of money from this course, it will be worth it if I decide to charge you 50,000 naira for this course. Even 100,000 or 150,000 naira. It is true. But I'm not a heartless person actually. So I had to consider the state of the economic situation in Nigeria. And then because of that, the course currently is hosted live on Seller. And it is going for 25,000 naira. But then hold on. Now, I like to show people who are fast action takers what I call unfair advantage. I don't care what other people will say. As far as these people are fast action takers, I show them unfair advantage. So what do I mean? I am going to give you this masterclass course. Of course, if you actually make the list, I'm going to give the first 10 people who will take it for a whopping discount sum of 9,900 naira today. Not another day, today. And I'm not kidding actually. I'll show you some of the highlights actually. So if you make it to, I only need 10 people. Only once the 10 people are exhausted, that list of 10, we shut it down and then everything moves back again to the original price. But then that is not the only thing you are getting when you pay for this course. There is so much that is wrapped up in this course, okay? Because I understand that you need to have some money to be able to invest consistently, of course, in stocks and shares. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give these first 10 people a business opportunity that they can use to make extra income, whether they currently have a job, a business, or not. That notwithstanding. Remember, I told you that I was going to give something free. The recharge card printing business blueprint at the beginning of this training. Yes, I'm going to give it to those people for free. And the worth of this is another training entirely. And this is something I was paid to come and teach in Ondo, teach in Edo State, teach in Asaba. I mean, I've also gone to a couple of places and paid handsomely to do that, but I'm giving to you for free when you buy this course for 9,900. And the worth of this training is 25,000 naira actually, but you are getting it for free. How to start recharge card printing business and all of that. And then not only that, there are more bonuses. I will also give you my top 3 premium ebooks for free. Number 1, how to pay off debt faster with 5 proven strategies that I myself use to get out of debt. And this is worth 5,000 naira. And then number 2, why you should start your own business is also a book that I wrote that moved me, the things that motivated me to start my own business after quitting my job with the insurance company actually. And that book is worth 5,000 naira. And then how to save your money effectively. Okay, let me just show you an highlight of some of those books. All right, as you can see right here, this is how to save your money effectively. It is going for 5,000 naira, and a lot of people are getting this book, but you are getting it for free. This is how to pay off debt faster. It is going for 5,000 naira, but you are getting it for free. And then this is the third one, why you should start your own business. It is going for 5,000 naira, but you are getting it for free when you just take this masterclass course. What is the total value of this entire bonus and the course and everything I'm giving you? Number one, the Stocks and Shares Investment Masterclass course is worth 25,000. In fact, it is worth more than 25,000 naira. But because that is the price that I actually, tag on it on seller, 25,000. The recharge card printing business blueprint, 25,000 naira again. How to pay off debt faster. Whether you need it or not, maybe you have somebody in debt, you can give them for free and deliver them from whatever challenge they are going through. 5,000 naira. Why you should start your own business ebook, 5,000 naira. So how to save your money effectively. The total value of everything you are getting is over 65,000 naira actually. But then I am only giving you this massive value packed course for 9,900 naira only for today. Only for today. All right, these are some of the people who have actually taken this course. All right, it is not new actually. A lot of people have taken this course. This is Onwando Emmanuel. This is Ojoini Aroturi Blessing. This is Omoefe Bazuno. This is Favor Joseph. And because of lack of space, I just had to compress many of them together. There are a lot of people who have taken this course. This is Oganetega. This is Obeyeme. This is Blessed. This is Franca. This is Mr. Lawa. This is this Uzo Omeji actually resides in the UK. And if you look carefully, this is May 24th. May 24th. May 24th. A recent purchase. And this is May 19th. This is May. A lot of people are taking this course, and you should not be the only person that is left out. So these are some things that some of my students are actually saying about this course. Those who have taken it actually. Now, this is Efe. He said, I was already at module 8 when my battery temperature made my phone shut down. He said, seriously, 25k itself is a heavy discount. I don't actually regret paying the 9,900 cost. This cost is pure value. He says, I wish it actually came earlier, even last year, and so on and so forth. He said, all the same, thank God it came now. Even without the stocks and shares modules, he said the earlier modules stand apart as a course of its own. This is somebody who has taken the course. I can tell you, it's not just about investment. Your financial life will be totally transformed if you take this course. So you are definitely not getting the actual gain you deserve. According to this guy again, continuation, he said you are definitely not getting the actual gain you deserve for putting this course together in terms of the price rate. He said, but I believe and pray that you are richly blessed by God to keep soaring. Thank you so much. This is somebody else. He said, just completed the course. I'm really grateful for this exposure and guide. I'm opening my account now and we start investing tomorrow by God's grace. All right, so this is it. He said, I also love the dimensions of money concept you shared, 3 points of concentration, and so on and so forth. And then this guy here says, the money I deposited in my investment wallet has been hanging since last week, said, but it landed yesterday. So I will start investing. I will be starting off my investment today before 2 p.m. So with proper guidance, whether you have a challenge or not, I am there to coach you. And so again, what is the total value of this course? Here is the highlight again. 65,000 naira against 9,900. I mean, that is a whopping discount of 55,100 that I'm giving to you free of charge. You shouldn't just pass by this opportunity. No, you shouldn't. So to take your slot among the first 10 people today, send me a message now on WhatsApp with the code SASIM, SASIM, SASIM. Send that message to this WhatsApp number on your screen, 070 88606650. Okay, if you're in my WhatsApp group, just come straight to my DM, send SASIM. This is the code for the first 10 people. Once you type in this code, I will know that you are one of those who are actually the first 10. All right, because there is actually a programming that I did with it. I'm going to deactivate the code once the 10 people are completed. Okay, so that is how I'm going to know that you are one of the 10 people. But again, if somebody else shared this particular masterclass video to you, all right, please, when you come to my DM, let me know the person that recommended you, because I'm not an ungrateful person. I like to appreciate people for helping to promote what I do, so that I just appreciate them for what they have actually done. Or better yet, you can get back to that person and let the person know that, oh, I want to take this course, and the person can lead you to me, all right, because many of them are connected to me. All right, so what is your plan for this year? Maybe you are not yet married, you want to get married, or you are already married and the next thing is you want to raise a family. Or you're already raising a family like me. I have a son, actually. His name is King David, just a little above a year. And I can tell you, it takes a lot to buy Pampers, baby food. I mean everything. So you need money, actually. And you know, one interesting thing that I did, actually, copying from, very rich people that I have studied over time. When my son was born, people were giving him money, and they used to give new baby money now. That's the time you usually get money, especially in this Nigeria that we live in. So when they began to give him money, we saved, myself and my wife, we saved the money and bought shares in his name. So we are not going to touch those shares until he's 18 years old. Can you imagine? Even though the shares we bought, for instance, even if you decide to buy shares for a child of 1 year old, and you bought shares of 5,000 naira, do you know what 17 years is? That's a lot of money. I am recommending this to you if you are not yet doing it. All right. Now, this is what Les Brown has to say. He said, if you want to be rich, watch what rich people do every day and do it like I did with investing in stocks and shares on behalf of my son. He said, and watch what poor people do and don't do it. It is as simple as that. All right. And then lastly, this is Tunde Onakoya, the guy that won the 58 hours marathon shares world record, Guinness World Record. This is what he had to say. He said, don't choose comfort at the age of labor, so you won't labor at the age of comfort. I truly believe that there are a lot of young people today who are not paying attention to investment. And when they grow old, they may likely have to rely on pension from the government, which may not always come as at when needed. All right. So regardless of your current status, this is an opportunity you must take right now. So come straight to my DM, send me the code SASIM, SASIM, to take your slot among the 10 people for just 9,900 naira. Okay. And once the 10 people is complete, we shut down that discount and everything goes up again. All right, so we have come to the end of this webinar. Thank you, my millionaire friend. Thank you, sir. Thank you, man, for staying to the end. If you have gotten value so far, you can just type in the section and say, thank you, Mr. Lucky. All right, just drop a comment below and let me know that you actually stayed to the end and you got value actually. All right, so I want to see you in my DM in a moment. Otherwise, 10 other people will outsmart you. If you become the 11th person, I'm sorry, I may not have anything to do about that. All right, so see you in my DM.